44-45 for the low, mostly clear skies. Partly sunny in the 60s to near 70 Saturday. Chance of showers and thunderstorms Saturday night. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy with a few showers and thunderstorms in the low to mid-60s. Your life, your music, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Catherine Drew. Spain's Basque separatist group ETA has apologised to its victims just days ahead of an expected announcement that the group is going to disband. ETA killed 800 people and wounded thousands in 4 decades of violence in a fight for independence. The notes of former FBI Director James Comey about his meetings with US President Donald Trump have been leaked to the press, and large parts of central Berlin are being evacuated after the discovery of a World War II bomb.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday to you. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, and I have my co-host with me, Mr. Cato Wonder, joining me. And,
good morning, everyone.
And our very special guest, Mr. Marvin Day, who is the Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. So he's going to be with us to share his thoughts and views and on his campaign. So thank you for joining us.
Well, before we get started, just have to remind everyone that KLEK does not endorse nor support any candidate for office, nor was any compensation provided for this interview. This interview is provided for educational purposes only. However, we do encourage each and every one of you to exercise your right to vote. And one more thing that I will exercise everyone to do is to wish Mr. Day a very happy birthday. So he's actually taking time off from celebrating his birthday to hang with us in the studio.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much, and I'm glad to be here.
All right. I won't ask you on the air how many candles I...
Hey, that's all right. I'm proud. It's 48 years old today.
All right. Well, happy birthday.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and not waste any time. So, Mr. Day, just kind of introduce yourself to our listeners and to our viewers. And we got a bunch of viewers already on our Facebook Live feed.
Oh, great. I'm Marvin Day. I grew up here in Jonesboro. Lived here since I was 9 years old. I guess to kind of understand who I am, I need to just shout out first. I'm a Christian. I believe Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and
Amen.
And that's who I am. Like I say, I graduated Jonesboro High School 1988. Went on to get a degree in civil engineering, and I hold a professional engineer's license. In my personal life, I've been married to Ashley Day for we'll be 22 years this fall. We have 2 boys, Alex and Zach, and we attend First Methodist Church. In my business life, after college, I went back and worked for the family construction business, and we designed and built roads and bridges and drainage structures and parking lots, anything you can imagine in that. And I started out from being a laborer as a young man to running a crew and then running whole projects, and eventually I moved in the office and became a project manager. And toward the end of my working career there, I started another business. I had a partner, and we called Asphalt Producers, and we made asphalt and laid asphalt, and so I've done quite a bit of road construction work, and worked hard. And at 40 years old, my wife and I just kind of had that long conversation of, money's money and kids are kids, and my kids were 11 and 6 at the time, and we just decided, hey, look, I need to be home more and need to spend more time at home and raise them, and we'll work out the rest later. And so that's what we did. At 40, I sold my business and got the opportunity to go to work at City Water and Light, and I've been a senior engineer there for almost 8 years. I manage our power plant, and it's just a real blessing to work there. It's a great organization that really focuses on taking care of others and doing the right thing in everything you do. So it was a great fit for me.
All right. We're certainly glad for all of the service that you provide to the community. We already got a bunch of Facebook shout-outs. Most of them are happy birthday shout-outs, but shout to Cade Holiday, Jeff Wisham, who says happy birthday, and Margie Wanding Plater, who also says happy birthday. We are speaking with Mr. Marvin Day, Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. So let's go ahead now and get into what made you decide to run for county judge, because kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, we had the last election, and it was expected that your current opponent would run again. Of course, no Democrat actually stepped forward, which was also a pleasant surprise. But then again, here you came and decided to run. So what made you decide to run?
Legansy, I guess about a year ago, maybe a little more, I've always been engaged in the community and keep up with what's going on. And I just really looked at what was going on in the county judge's race, and it just didn't feel like the conversation was in the right place. That there was not a lot of people talking about ways that we can make our community better, and the ways we can have a little more business-like approach. And like I say, it was over a year ago, and I just thought, gosh, somebody ought to step up and do a good thing. Kind of change this. Somebody will get in there that's thinking about things a little differently, and it just kind of kept coming up in my mind every few months, and I was just like, oh gosh, I hope God isn't telling me that somebody is me.
Well, that's how it typically usually works when we get called. We're like, you sure about that, Lord?
That's right, and so I really thought, I sat down with my wife, Ashley, and it was just one day after work, and I just said, Ashley, God's put something on my heart, and I need you to, straighten me out on this, just to be honest with you. And I really expected her to, kind of give me the slap on each side of the head and say, that's exactly right, and tell me, hey, you need to sit down and go back to work and quit messing around. And but it was just as a great of a moment for me that Ashley, she just stopped in her tracks, and she just was like, I can't tell you how many people tell me how good a job you could do in that area, or whether it would be in a city council or a JP or something, that you really have a heart to serve other people and care about other people, and so that's how that started with Ashley and I's conversation, and and then I just started kind of ask a few friends and get feedback, and then I went and talked to my parents about it, and it was really funny. Excuse me, I asked my wife to keep it to ourselves, and of course she told my mom, and my mother's first reaction was not positive. Let's just say no.
Well, moms are going to always look out for their children.
That's exactly right. But then, by the time I told her a few weeks later, she had warmed up to it. She just like I said, she just like, I don't want you to have to go through the struggle of the politics and those sort of things. But once she realized that, why I'm running is, hey, look, I care about this place, and I want it to be great, and there's a lot of things that we can do to make this community better, and I just want to be a part of that.
Absolutely, and I do have to give a couple shout out to Madison, who you may see somebody on our live feed that's running around with a camera. That is Madison. She is a photojournalism student at Arkansas State University. She is actually taking pictures of us doing community conversations for a class project. So if you're wondering why is this girl running around on our video, that's what it is. We already have a question on our Facebook live feed. It comes from Austin Zamora, and Austin says, late to the conversation, but what are your thoughts on the courthouse in Lake City?
I'm a supporter of the courthouse in Lake City. They provide a great service to people in the Eastern District, and it should remain that way. I do feel like, and I've gotten this really from the people that work there, of maybe there's some ways that we can staff it differently to be a little more cost efficient. I think the real key to that is all the elected officials need to pull together and work for ways to improve that. And there may have to be some policies and rules changed to accomplish that. But bottom line, I'm a supporter of the courthouse at Lake City.
All right. And of course, if you have a question for Mr. Marvin Day, you can leave your question on our Facebook live feed, or you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. We're going to go ahead and look at your platform. I have your flyer right here, and it says Marvin's plan for Craighead County, and there are 5 bullet points on here. So we're going to go through each one and let you elaborate on them. So the first one is bring a business-like approach to county government. So kind of just go into detail on what that entails, and if you are elected, how you would bring this business-like approach to county government.
I guess I look at it, where to start on that. So let's start with budgeting. I look at it, and the counties should start their budgeting process, in August, September range. Right now, I think they've usually been a little later than that, more November, December. I think the reason I think for something like that is it gives the opportunity for stakeholders to really work hard and understand all aspects of what's going on in the budget and where we want to go as a community that year. I also think that we need to have a long-range planning committee where we're looking at these future needs. I'm told that we're going to have to do some remodeling or expansion to the county jail, and it's a big amount of money.
And speaking of the county jail, not to cut you off, but I want to get this in since you mentioned it. As you know, there was the issue with the mental health crisis unit. The original plan that Sheriff Boyd, Mayor Perrin, and some ministers had was to convert an old nursing home on the northern side of town, which was donated. It was already ready to go, but there was some resistance from people in the area, so they opted not to go with that option, and they looked at some other places, and there was also resistance there, and there's some funding that's out there. I don't know if the funding is expired or is about to expire, but Sheriff Boyd is pretty much back to square one, still trying to get this mental health, this crisis unit established. And I think one of the objections that keep coming up over and over again is that, well, we don't want this in our neighborhood, and Sheriff Boyd has tried to explain that these won't be like where hardened criminals go. It'll be from people who may just be down on their luck, may have had a loss of a relative, loss of a job, some kind of issue that triggered depression. And as someone who suffers from depression himself, you get those moments where you get down and you may, consider, doing something that may be a regrettable decision. Doesn't mean that you are a criminal or anything, but you may still need some help. And the purpose of this facility was for those people like that, if they were depressed, to get evaluated and then determine if they need to get some mental health treatment, see a therapist, or be released. But if you are elected Craighead County Judge, what will you do to try to help bring this project forward?
Okay. It's a much needed facility for our community. Right now, they're of course that's Marty's news to announce, and the judges, but they're trying to finalize the location for that facility. I've actually spoken with he and then also the CEO of Mid-South Health System that's going to be the partner with the county to operate the facility.
Well, it's certainly good news that something is in the works.
Yeah, they're going, and so they're not, from my understanding, they're not in peril to lose their grant to help with that facility. So it's going well, and it's like I said, it's much needed. Our community needs that facility. So they've got to work through the grant. It doesn't quite cover all the operating expenses, but Mid-South has committed to partner with them to make up that difference for a 2 or 3 year commitment to do that. and see if we can do that, make that program work.
All right, getting back to our Facebook shout-outs. Austin Zamora says, thank you for the honest answer. You have our vote, Mr. Day. Sherelle Gregory said, hi, Mr. Day. It was nice meeting you at Fat City. And shout out to Wes Eddington and S.L. Robinson and Katie Calloway. Appreciate each and every one of you for checking in on our
Good morning,
live
everybody.
feed. Getting back to bringing a business-like approach to county government, I know I kind of cut you off a little bit, but I want to make sure you wrap up that bullet point.
Sure. Like I said, we talked a little bit about the budgeting process, even little things like purchasing. There's a lot of things that the judge's office can encourage everyone to use. Buy paper in bulk instead of each individual office buying things, and find ways just to save money on items. We had a great conversation at the court meeting a few weeks ago about the phone system. The county spends $140,000 a year, I think it was, on the phone system, and there's a lot of ways, and it's kind of, I guess it's the engineer in me, but ways to save money, and it's fun to me. I enjoy it. So we had a guy from Ritter there that talked about how much money that we thought we could save if we converted over instead of a traditional system into a voice over IP setup. So that's why I say that business-like approach. There's always ways that you can save money in your business and do things better with technology, and there's a lot of that I think we can do a good job on.
Getting back to our Facebook live feed, we got a question. This comes from Steve Richardson. He says, do you support the HUB, which stands for Helping Underserved Belong?
I'm not very familiar with that organization.
Well, the HUB basically, and Quabila can jump in and help me out. It's basically something that was founded to help the homeless in Jonesboro. I believe it helps provide them, first it helps provide temporary shelter and supplies, and then helps them to seek employment and any other things they need as well. Am I leaving out anything, Quabila, about the HUB?
Well, I don't think they have housing at that facility, but they help connect them with housing resources. There have been individuals who have gone through the program who have been able to get housing. I want to call them vouchers. I use the term loosely. They've been able to get assistance with finding a permanent residence, but there's a lot of qualifications they have to meet in program requirements. So it's not just they're handing out, but the people actually earn, and the people I think that earn them, they really appreciate the services they receive.
Okay, and
like
SL says they provide resources they need to find work in apartments, etc. So what are your thoughts on, once again, getting back to the question, your thoughts on the HUB?
Sounds like a great organization. Like I say, to me, it's trying to help people improve their lives and improve their situation. And it sounds like they're doing that. So I'm very interested in them. I'd like to learn more, but from what I hear, I'm supportive of them.
All righty. And of course, we are speaking with Mr. Marvin Day, Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. The election is coming up. If you could pull up the election day info as well as early voting and the deadline for voter registration, or SL.
I can tell you that.
Okay.
Deadline for voter registration is Monday.
So if you haven't registered to vote,
Yep.
vote. And I believe you can even do it online now.
And you can submit an absentee ballot, which I already did. Thank you, Kate.
And the election day is May 22nd, and early voting starts May 7th.
Okay. All right. So there you have it. Of course, not going to tell you who to vote for, but we definitely want you to get out and exercise your right to vote. We only got about 2.5 minutes, so we're not going to get into your second bullet point just yet, but I'm just going to kind of...
So
I was just going to make a mention on the absentee ballot, absentee voting. For those who may not know, you can download the application and fill it. If you have an app, the Adobe Sign and Fill app, you can sign it, do everything online, and email it right back to the county clerk. So it is very easy. It took me maybe 5 minutes to fill out my application and email it back.
All right, quick question, Mr. Day from S.L. Robinson. Do you have any upcoming meet and greets where people can come out and meet you?
Well, this Saturday, I don't have one scheduled right off, but this Saturday there's a community dinner at Black Oak fish dinner tomorrow around 11 o'clock. And then we have another event in Lake City at First Baptist Church also tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So I'll be there at 3 if you want to come by and visit us and say hello. But I'll try to plan one here in Jonesboro, just to set a time and a place where people can come by and say hello, and we can visit.
What time is the one at Black Oak?
I think it's 11 o'clock, Willa. I'm not sure. I think it's 11.
I'm just putting information into the live stream.
Okay.
And then Lake City at 3 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
And so for those watching on our Facebook live feed, Quabila is typing the information. So if you would like the opportunity to meet Mr. Day, then you will have that opportunity to further continue the discussion. So,
I'm sorry, the location of...
And SL says good deal.
We'll find out the location on the break.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, once again, we are speaking with Mr. Marvin Day, Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. And one thing I do want to make note of is both of the candidates running are actually Republicans. So if you want to vote in this race, you will actually have to select the Republican ballot. If you select the Democratic or the Independent ballot, this race will not appear on your ballot. So if you support Mr. Day, if you support Mr. Presley, and you want to vote for either one of them, then you will have to select the Republican ballot. Of course, for the general election, it won't matter even if you are a Republican or a Democrat, because it'll be a general election ballot. But just want to get the information out there. We are going to go to break, but don't go anywhere. Don't jump off of our Facebook live feed. We are going to come back with more with Mr. Marvin. Then we're going to get into more of Marvin's plan for Craighead County. This is Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
What mistakes should you let your kids make? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. It's hard to know when to let go and let your kids, especially your teens, make mistakes or even fail. But sometimes letting your kids make mistakes is the best way to help them learn. Here's a simple list to help you determine when it may be okay to let your kids make some mistakes. First, let them fail a test. Sometimes, all it takes is one bad grade and one consequence to wake them up to the importance of studying. Second, let them run low on gas. If they haven't handled their money wisely, they may not have enough to fill it up and go where they want to go. For the rest of the mistakes you should let your kids make, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Want to keep up with Mark off the air? You can. Follow him on Twitter. Twitter.com/Mark Merrill.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Now it's even easier than ever to support KLEK 102.5 FM. If you love what we do and want to support us, you can now donate by simply sending a text message. That's right. All you have to do is text the keyword GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171. Once again, text the keyword GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171 to make your donation. And don't worry how to spell it. Either way you spell it, whether using the number 2, letter T-O, or T-O-O. If you text GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171, you will be able to make your tax-deductible donation. We're your community radio station where it's all about your life, your music. Don't forget, text GIVE to KLEK to 844-544-7171.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
The Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated presents our Adult Indoor Co-Ed Volleyball Tournament, Saturday, April 21st at Allen Park, 3609 Race Street in Jonesboro, starting at 10 a.m. Teams will consist of 6 to 10 players per team, with a minimum of 2 females per team. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Autism Association of Northeast Arkansas. Registration, fees, and other information is available via Billie Jean Rogers at 573-281-6431 or ladyb573@gmail.com.
We at KLEK would like to extend a sincere thank you to all of our underwriters and sponsors. If you would like to sponsor or underwrite our programming and help us to educate, entertain, and empower the community, our number is 870-203-9951. Our email address is klek1025fm@gmail.com. The website address is klekfm.org. Again, thank you for listening.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with our guest, Mr. Marvin Day, Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. And we certainly have enjoyed our discussion with him. Kabila, do you have anything for Mr. Day before I...
Go ahead. You're doing so great.
Well, this your show, Even though I do enjoy the political interviews, that's why I'm sitting in on it. Going into our Facebook Live feed, S.L. Robinson said, not sure if this question will be directed for him, but how do you feel about justice reform?
About justice reform?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much of really specifically what you're looking for.
If you could be more specific, we'll come back to that question, and we're happy to ask it. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and get back into Marvin's plan for Craighead County. And by the way, this plan is on Marvin Day's website, marvinday.com. Again, that website is marvinday.com. And let's look at focus on economic development. So kind of expound on, if you are elected, how you would improve the economic development of the county.
Sure. I guess I'm going to start off with, if you look at what the county judge's primary responsibilities are, it's roads and bridges and chairman of the quorum court and some other tasks in there. And so that I'm calling that my day job, But my passion that as the county judge's office could use as a platform is economic development. And if you look at Jonesboro, we've all been here for a while, and the last 10 years Jonesboro's grown just amazingly. But in the last 10 years, Jonesboro's lost 800 manufacturing jobs over that time period. That has been made up by, there's been several, if I remember, around 3,000 service industry jobs that have kind of made up that gap. Well, you think to yourself, well, that's, Jonesboro's growing. We've got more jobs. But if you look at it on a dollars point of view, the average manufacturing job in Jonesboro makes about $43,000 a year. Where right now in Jonesboro, the average service industry job makes $13,000 a year. And the poverty level is $15,000 a year. So, it's really easy to see that Jonesboro is not, as far as having good quality jobs for people, is not where we need to be. And I just feel strongly for us, Jonesboro, to continue to grow and be a great place to live, we need to work hard, and the county should be a strong partner with the Chamber of Commerce and Jonesboro Unlimited and the City of Jonesboro and other people that are working in the economic development field to provide all people this county good quality jobs that can make everything in our community better.
And to expound on that a bit, of course, obviously Jonesboro being the major city in the county, that's where most of the activity is going to go on. But for the smaller cities in the county and even the unincorporated areas, how as county judge, if you are elected, would you work to improve their economic development? Because, they need to be viable and sustainable as well.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And it goes back to that same thing. It's education's the key. Working with the school districts, working with ASU and ASU Newport and the VOTEC centers, and really, teaching these people, even my own children, teaching them, hey, look, if you will, if you stop right here at high school, this is more than likely where you're going to be, for your job options going out there. But if you'll go ahead and let's say get an associate's degree in welding or get a associate's degree in operating a CNC machine, then all of a sudden, or become a electrician or a plumber or HVAC tech, and that doesn't matter where you live. Going back to your question, that could be anywhere, and all of a sudden that person has a skill and is trained to do things that makes the quality of their life better, and they can live in their hometown where they grew up and have a good job.
Okay,
I just want to have a question, and I don't know if this would fall under your job title, if you would have any influence on this, but talking about increasing people's education exposure to other job markets for those that may not want to go to traditional college. How do you feel about, or is it possible to get a Job Corps type of training place here? I know there's one in Little Rock, but what if the goal is to retain the individuals here in Jonesboro, then is it feasible to look at having a facility in our own city or county?
As far as a training facility?
Yes.
That's the thing. There actually is a couple of training facilities here in our community. So there's a workforce training center that's out there in the industrial park.
Well, as far as, the one in Little Rock, Job Corps, they offer housing and stipends and things of that nature. So something similar to that here, so that the students that are getting out of high school, or they may be, at a certain age, but they want to have that away from home feel without actually going onto a college campus, but they're getting job training, they're getting some experience on being independent, and they're kind of finding their way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just want to know if it's feasible here, or how can we even start the conversation, where to start the conversation with who.
Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's feasible. I don't really know much about how they're funded, the Job Corps in Little Rock, but it sounds like maybe we talked earlier about the hub.
Okay.
That maybe there's a way that there could be some partnerships and some organizations here to help with that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, my side that I was going to say is, if I had went to a 2-year school and took up a trade, it would have been HVAC. I've always had a fascination, especially with gas furnaces and how they work. So if I would have took up a trade, that would have been my trade.
Yeah. And and I really have to tip my hat to I've visited with I guess every school district or school superintendent in the county, and the focus that I've got a son that's a freshman in college, and really got to see firsthand when he was in high school the work that the career counselors are doing there in the schools to empower our young men and women to let them understand, hey, look, if you're not going to college, don't worry about it. Let's find this good career opportunity for you in these other areas, and let's get you that training. So they're doing a great job, and we just need to keep supporting them and provide that opportunity.
Once again, we are speaking with Mr. Marvin Day, Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. If you have any questions for Mr. Day, you can do it the old school way. Call in 870-277-1080. Once again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. Or you can weigh in on our Facebook Live feed. And let's see if I can pull up these Facebook shout-outs. Shout out to Brian Dover, Steve Richardson, S.L. Robinson, Christy Lemons, and Margie Wandlin Plater. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If not, I definitely...
Marge.
Well, there you go. Well, I apologize, Marge, for... excuse me. Getting your name wrong. Moving on once again to your plan for Craighead County. The next point we're going to talk about is continue the road improvement program.
Yep. My background, obviously I got a degree in civil engineering, and and civil engineering is basically you learn how to design roads and bridges and drainage structures and drainage systems, how you're going to move water from here to there. And I did that as a career for 25 years. So, the road program, the county doesn't have an unlimited supply of money. So, the program needs to start with, we need to have community meetings in different areas and understand from the people, hey, what's the biggest priority for your part of the county? What do you need the most? And you need to have the school districts involved in that, because, what do they need? Where's their problem areas for their bus routes? Or from your volunteer firefighters, hey, what road is a problem for you being able to take care of the people and service that? So the road program needs to start with, what do the people need? And then we make a plan similar to what the highway department and the city do. We're going to take all that and we're going to make a 5-year plan. Okay. And that plan will be, hey, look, this year we're going to do a major rebuild of this road in Cache, for example. Okay. But next year we've got a major road that we're going to be working on in Monette. And so we just want to have a business-like approach to do that. And that when we build a road, that we've designed it to handle the traffic and the load that's there. So there's a lot of times where the county gets spread too thin. Okay. With their pavement structures, and things get torn up real quick because it just didn't have enough asphalt or didn't have enough gravel, or the drainage around the road was not taken care of the right way. So go and have that plan. Okay. Of what the community needs, and then we kind of budget it out and design it the right way. I have a lot of passion for that. That's because you look at the kind of that politics gets in there, but really the county judge's job, the county's overall budget's around $30 million a year. Okay. And the county judge looks over $9 million of that. Okay. Of that $9 million, $7 million's in the road department. Okay. And so 75% of the fiscal responsibility of the county judge's office is taking care of these roads and make sure it's done right. The other $2 million takes care of the other buildings and IT and veteran services and emergency services, and all very important things that need to be taken care of. But on a money sense, the road department's the big responsibility of the county judge.
Now, similar to our city council, here where individuals, the residents, are allowed to come to the meetings because they're public, do you all, on the county level, are there meetings that are public and available for members to come and voice their concerns?
Sure. The quorum court has a general meeting once a month on Mondays, and then they have committee meetings 2 weeks later. So basically there's two times a month where they have a public meeting, and in fact quorum court's meeting this Monday. Okay. I think their meeting's at 5:30, and it's open to the public to hear what's going on and voice your concerns. I kind of look at it from myself on the transparency side and really being open and honest with folks. You know, you should, you know, as county judge, I'll be there anytime you need to call and talk about something. I'll be there to answer those questions. You don't have to come to the public meeting. If you need to know something or need some help with something, that's my job. I'll be there to personally support people. And in fact, that's if you look on my flyer that we've got, I put my personal cell phone number on that flyer. And people said, "Man, are you crazy? You know, you want people to have your number?" I'm like, "I do. I mean, you know, if I'm asking people to let me serve you and do a good job for you as county judge, then you need to be able to contact me."
Well, we may take advantage of that. If you get elected county judge, then we'll be calling you to potentially do a monthly segment, kind of like what we do with Chief Elliott, to keep people updated.
Sure.
On the county. And if your opponent wins, we're going to extend him the same invitation, because no matter who wins the seat, we want that person to come speak to our listeners on a regular basis to keep people updated on the county, to keep that engagement going.
Yep.
Got a couple more shout outs. Shout out to Nora Hunt and Amanda Moffitt Donovan.
And Miss Marsha Phillips.
And Mrs. Marsha Phillips. Appreciate each and every one of you for checking in on our Facebook live feed. So going into the next point on your plan is create a working relationship with all elected officials. And of course, you know, in the past there has been, and Amanda says, people ask me the same thing, Marvin, about my phone number. And I think that's any public person. My personal cell number is on my business card. But, you know, in the past there has been, you know, some tensions in the county courthouse. There's been issues of nepotism and other things that have come up. So what are you going to do if you are elected to create that better working relationship with not just the other elected officials, but even the people in the courthouse that are going to be working with you and under you?
Right. You know, I guess first thing, and I've mentioned this before, but, you know, we're going to have monthly meetings, at minimum monthly meetings with all the county elected officials, and just try to, you know, I learned this at City Water and Light, you know, you have to have teamwork, and you have to have that spirit of, you know, cooperation and trust for one another. And we need to have these meetings where we can get together and develop that trust and trusting relationship with each other. And, you know, because there's no value for our community if all the elected officials are at odds and won't work with each other and have their own little empire, because it's inefficient financially for the people. And we really need to have that attitude of, hey, we're, you know, like I said, in this business-like approach, you know, we need to run it like a business, but our mission statement and our focus needs to be on serving the people. And part of that is we all need to work together and find ways to do things more efficient and better for our community.
And let's extend that to outside of the courthouse and elected officials. What about the other stakeholders in the community, the businesses, Arkansas State University, and even the nonprofits?
Sure.
How, if you are elected county judge, how will you use that position to work with, again, the business leaders, the nonprofits, the faith-based leaders, the other different stakeholders and segments of the community?
Okay. You know, that's you know, you didn't mention this one, but, you know, one of the big issues that the county has is some drainage. And, you know, and we have drainage districts out in the county. That's on my first day. I'm going to set up meetings with the drainage districts, and which are really led by business leaders in their community, of ways that we can partner together to make things better. But, you know, that I guess if I'm elected county judge, to me, anything that we can do to partner with, you know, faith-based leaders, business leaders, that's our responsibility, because, you know, we're all trying to make the community better, and we all need to work to find ways to do things and be more efficient with things. You know, helping out the school districts, things that, you know, the county, if the schools need to have a road, you know, smoothed out, and the county's got the equipment to it and the school doesn't, hey, let's go help them. Same way with our cities around. You know, at Jonesboro, they've needed to have a bridge built before, and the county's partnered with them to do that. So, you know, that to me, it goes back to that mindset of, hey, we need to be here to serve the community, and whoever needs to be partnered with, whether it's the faith-based community or the business community or our educational community, we should have that mindset and always be looking for ways to help others.
I want to touch on or extend the question, comment concerning working with, just say, the university.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to looking at infrastructure that needs to be built, improved upon in and around the county, will you try to utilize the students that are going into engineering, agriculture, or whatever other courses that would be beneficial to assisting you on, of course, with them being students, they may not be able to work for you, but they'll be able to provide some insight from their perspective because they're newly learning a lot of these things. So would you be willing to incorporate some of their ideas in education into whatever you're trying to do to make improvements?
I really hadn't thought about it, to be honest with you, but yes. I mean, you think about it, how I've never heard of the county having let's take, since I'm an engineer, I'm gonna pick on my people.
Okay.
There's a lot of times that engineers will have summer jobs or internships or those sort of things. I've never heard of the county having someone do that, but how great would that be?
Okay.
So that you could have a fresh perspective from someone that's in that field that might think, hey, have you thought about this, or different things like that. So I could see something along those lines that could be beneficial.
Okay.
Of course, budget allowed.
Yes.
Quorum Court would have to vote on that and have it in the budget. But I could see some opportunities where you could have some partnerships. I know at City Water and Light we have students that'll come out and want to tour our facilities or understand what's going on.
Okay.
And I think the county would happily host students to come out for tours and better understand how the government, the county government works, because it's interesting. Unless you've really kind of studied it, it's really interesting how it's all broken up, and just the craziness of why is a guy that's really the chief administrator of the county called the county judge?
Okay.
I've always thought of that myself, but I don't know. Maybe someone smarter than me can give the answer. We are once again speaking with Mr. Marvin Day, Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. Getting ready to go into break in a few seconds, so when we come back, we're going to get into his last point, which is making public safety a top priority. So we will definitely talk about that. Then we'll do a wrap up. So don't go anywhere, because we have more with Mr. Marvin Day. And of course, I want to actually thank our sponsor, the Arkansas State University Multicultural Center, for sponsoring Community Conversations. We definitely appreciate the support of the Multicultural Center, as well as all of our underwriters, donors, and sponsors. Each and every one of you helps to make this possible so that we can continue to provide this service to you. So once again, thank you to each and every one of you that makes it possible. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more. This is KLEK on 2.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Here's what to ask about a store's layaway policy. What happens if something goes wrong and you can't meet the payment terms necessary to complete your purchase? You need to be clear on finance charges, penalties, and other fees associated with missed or late payments. What happens if you change your mind about purchasing an item you put on layaway? Do you get a refund of money already deposited, a store credit, or do they keep all or part of your money? Know before you commit to buying the item. If you put an item on layaway at one price and it goes on sale, will you get the discount to the sale price? Here's the bottom line. Understand the store's policy completely before making a layaway purchase. Also, be sure to shop around and compare to find the layaway plans that work best for your financial needs and budget. For more information or for past shows, go to AURN.com. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com. KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Full Sun Gifts, celebrating their 1-year anniversary throughout April, is a supporter of KLEK. Full Sun Gifts is located at 606 Southwest Drive in Jonesboro and offers a variety of gift items for all occasions. Full Sun will host the Scout Bag Trunk Show April 12th and 13th and the Alley and Bird Jewelry Trunk Show April 20th. More information is available at Full Sun Gifts on Facebook and Instagram and 870-974-8480.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
Tune in to Community Conversations every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. here on KLEK 102.5 FM. Join host Quabila Jones-Harden as she talks to people who are making a difference in the community and learn about the people and organizations that provide services to make Jonesboro a better place. Community Conversations every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM. The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
No, I was going to let you have it this time. You had to.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I've been your host, Quabila Jones, along with Mr. Cato Wonder, and our very special guest, Mr. Marvin Day, the Republican candidate for Craighead County Judge. So, during this last
We're celebrating his birthday today.
And he's celebrating a birthday on today. So we're going to let him have the last few moments. We're going to talk about one more bullet point and any other final thoughts he would like to share.
All right, so we'll get into that last bullet point, make public safety a top priority.
Yep. You know, I've been engaged with the volunteer firefighters in our community over since January, and you know, they've got a radio system that is old and needs to be upgraded, and I fully support that. You know, and you think, you know, people living here in Jonesboro, well, why does it matter to me if the radio in Monette works or doesn't work? Well, you know, these volunteer firefighters are the first responders for accidents, and you know, they have more accident calls or emergency calls than they do fire calls typically. And you know, it could be you or your family member that might have an accident when you're driving to, let's say you're driving to Blytheville or you're driving to Newport, and if they can't get in touch with that guy to come help you, then it's important to you and so it's an important issue and needs to be taken care of. You know, on that public safety also, you know, I would like to see some security improvements in the courthouse. Around, I've had many of the judges mention to me that, and in fact, if you go to other counties and you see that, you know, they have a little better system to make sure people are safe and protected when they're in that court system and in the courthouse in general. So, you know, staying focused on those. And then last point on the public safety, you know, we've got to stay up to date on things that we do that relate to our emergency management system, and stay on top of that, and be a good partner with other organizations, whether it's the city, Arkansas Department of Emergency Management, other areas, and make sure we're there to be prepared to support other communities when they have needs.
All right, Mr. Day, we're getting ready to get into our wrap up, which will be starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a couple seconds early on me. All right, 2.5 minutes. Let the listeners know why they should vote for you to be the next Craighead County Judge.
Okay, well, like I say, thank you for taking the time to listen and enjoy this conversation, I guess, with us. You know, I just feel like my background as a business owner, as a person that built roads and managed roads, my qualifications are there. And, you know, to many people that know me, I have a heart to serve people, and I have a heart to help others. And I love this community. It's a great place to be, and I just want to have a better platform to provide to help make it better in everything we do. So I would appreciate the opportunity for your vote. I appreciate getting your vote. If you'd like to talk to me about it, please give me a call. Like I say, you can look it up on my website, marvinday.com. Or
well, since you say your number's public, we
yeah,
can just read it.
Yeah,
it's 870-275-0105. That's 870-275-0105. MarvinDay.com. KLK and the Voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council does not endorse nor support any candidate for office, nor was any compensation provided for this interview. This interview is provided for educational purposes only. But we do encourage you to get out and vote. And when is election day again?
May 22nd is a late election day. Early voting starts May 7th.
Right. Any final thoughts, comments, or birthday wishes, anything?
No, that's great. Thank y'all for having me. This has been a lot of fun, and y'all have a great program, and have a good weekend, and God bless.
Right,
thank you very much, sir.
And God bless you, and thank you once again for stopping by our studio, and once again, happy birthday to you, and definitely want to wish you the best in the campaign. Of course, once again, we're not going to tell you who to vote for, but we definitely going to say vote. And of course, we will have your opponent here May 2nd, and he will get the same opportunity. And listen to these candidates, see what they have to say, and then step into that voting booth and make your choice known, because one of these men is going to be your next county judge. So why not have a say in who that is? Going to go ahead and leave it there. Once again, thank you, Mr. Dave, for stopping by. have a great and blessed birthday. And to each and every one of you, have a great and blessed day as well. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.